Ooh, happy Monday, Moonday. It's Fola here. Ooh, let's just do a quick sage. We got some sage and dragon's blood here today. So yeah, nice to have you join in live, folks. Excited to share some energy with you today. So wherever you are, you find yourself in your comfortable place, as we are going to connect to what this week has for us. We'll do some a kind of a collective reading and pull some cards. And then we'll also do some personal card pulls too. So if that's something that interests you, you would like, you can let me know in the comments. I will do the best I can to navigate both screens here. So wherever you are tuning in from, just inviting you right now to just take a few deep breaths together. So allowing your eyes to close if that feels safe for you, comfortable at this point. And just inhaling deep into the lungs and into the belly. And then on your exhale, allowing the shoulders to drop down, allowing your body to relax. Inhaling again, drawing that energy from the full moon, which is tonight. Letting go of the day and all the things that maybe have come through your mind from your day. And one more time, inhaling. And letting it go. And as you sit there now in stillness, connecting to the breath, just normal, in and out. And noticing whatever is coming into your awareness, whether it's sounds or sensations. From this place of stillness, we can receive the guidance and the support that wants to show up and lead us to the next place, the next opportunity. This is why meditation, stillness is so important. So whatever your days look like today, maybe your week's just been super busy, just connecting here and now to the still point in time and space. Using whatever anchor, whether it's sound, vibration, sensation, the breath, to just bring you to each moment. There's nothing you need to change. There's nothing you need to do. Just allow. As we call forth to that full moon, Gemini, shining brightly in the night sky, reflecting the light of the sun. May the insights and knowing be illuminated for us tonight and in this week to come, this week. What is this? November 27th to December 3rd. As we tune into that energy of the week for the collective reading, using this channel as a guide, as support. Hey Payas, hello, nice to see you. Yeah. Okay, we're going to do the collective reading for this week. So as you return to the space, let's see, what does Spirit want us to know for this week? Gratitude. Right, crown chakra, gratitude. We have, I think it was a root card, red. Oh no, orange, passion. Anything else here from the chakra cards? I'm gonna figure it out eventually so that everything doesn't just fall on the floor, folks. And then we have a yellow dissipating. Interesting, kind of just moving through these sort of central space chakra points, I want to say. Okay, no, I'm just gonna pull a bunch of cards here. Hey Tahira, nice to see you. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks, Buzz. I got my lights set up, you know? Ooh, oh, there's some cards fell over here. Ooh, we got the moon card and the magus. Ooh, and I think the hangman too. I can get the cards off the floor. Oh my god. So we have, okay. I'm just gonna kind of lay these out like this. For some reason it feels right. I will show this in a moment. You cannot see it just yet. We're gonna pull so we have the moon showing up here actually first. Okay. Let's try that one again. We have the moon, we have the hangman, and we have the magus, or the magician. All these major arcana cards. Hey, Dora King. Oh, and Tammy. Hi, Tammy. Oh, I think I'm missing a whole lot of comments here. Can one have a prolonged period if the root or sacral chakra affects it? Oh, I see. Yeah. Yes, I think it could impact a woman's menstrual cycle for sure. For sure. Yeah. Anyways, interesting you asked that. Just being with the moon here. We're going to just pull an animal card, the animal spirit card, to see what animal wants to support us for this week. Even though I'm seeing the coyotes, I'm seeing kind of the dog energy in this moon card. You know, there's also a scarab beetle or some type of beetle as well. A stingray. Okay. And beautifully enough, the stingray has the rainbow energy there, if you can see. It's got the alignment of like all the chakras right through its center point. Something about the central channel. Stingrays are creepy as like AF, I will say, I think. And yet they're not really dangerous from what I understand. So what is it about our energy this week that might seem to put off people, and yet can bring us balance within? Interesting. I just put a post about something like that, about the need for boundaries this week. So what I did with the cards is I kind of laid it like one on top of another. So I'm associating the moon card here with the gratitude card, okay? And sorry if it's like really dark. I was trying to like maintain a bit of reduction in the shadow and the glare. So we'll see what happens here. But we have this concept of the moon almost illuminating the gratitude in our lives, okay? And I see, whatever reason, like something about how both the moon here is kind of engrossed in this like ball of light, and then at the top, see, it's kind of like an hourglass kind of moving through, you know, from the sun and the moon reflecting one into another kind of thing, how they feed into another. And here we have like this heart that has all these vines and the plants kind of wrapped around it. It's like the gratitude feeds the abundance. So there needs to be this give and take kind of energy right now for this week. Like mentioned in that kind of guided process, how the moon itself isn't the source of the light. It reflects the sunlight, right? And that's how we see it so brightly. It's just that it's not obscured by the earth's shadow, or by the earth itself, or however, when the sun and the moon and all that stuff works. I'm not an astrologist or astronomer. And yet this idea of the gratitude, the more gratitude we can give for even needing to set boundaries, like there's really a perspective change that can happen for us. We can see boundary setting as like a hard, like it's uncomfortable. It's like, oh crap, I gotta do this thing. And yet we can shift the perspective and see it as an opportunity for us to have gratitude for the boundaries we've set and the strength that we are developing, the personal power that we are really stepping into. Okay. I had also come across someone writing something online that said something like having gratitude for the relationships in your life that seem to be like they're like, it's like an asshole that's pushing you, because like that's a learning opportunity to set boundaries. I'm not saying everyone you have to set boundaries to with or between or whatever is like necessarily a horrible person. It's just teachable moments for us to be like, okay, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. Okay. The moon, Kof, related to Pisces, related to the letter Pe or Kof, which is like the mouth. Right? Kof, yes, the mouth. No, the head. Sorry, back of the head. So the subconscious stuff. What is there, maybe even in your subconscious mind, you can go back to from your past and have gratitude for those moments. I was sharing with my partner today about like my ex like partner, my previous relationship from a few years ago. And even though it was like maybe not the most ideal, like to have found myself in, and at the time the kind of illusion I had within it all, the gratitude I had now or have now for those experiences. And I was kind of like just reminiscing, I guess I could say, on what that was. I just thought I saw like somebody else. Oh, this is why I don't do nighttime readings, because yeah, anyways, I'm gonna just continue looking at some of your comments here, folks. I had an endless one. It broke me, Kaya says. I assume you mean the menstrual cycle. Yeah. Oh, sorry to hear that. Like, there's something clearing. There's definitely a clearing. And maybe we'll see some of that within the next cards here for the collective. I've been so tired these past couple days, Dorking says. Yeah. I find the full moon, new moon, any of these things can just really impact us. So taking that rest. Tahira says, wow, boundaries. Yes, finally respecting my own. Okay, awesome. Yeah, like what are our boundaries? And that's hard when it's friends too. I'm catching myself having to do that lately. People I would consider quite close, where it's like they might not understand our experiences fully. And also the need within boundary setting for clean cut communication. Okay. Pious. Does that mean the chakra is active? I did a meditation for the lower chakra, sacral. I felt rude. I guess it depends, Pious, whether it's active or inactive. Or active or overactive or underactive. I would say asking yourself, seeing what comes up intuitively for you. You'll know. I would imagine though, when menstrual cycle, there's a shedding. Kind of like this image here too, the shedding of this light. Like I said, the hourglass kind of moving. So we're going to move on here. We have the Hangman and we have the Sacral card of Passion, okay? Which is kind of, in my opinion, almost seems like this opposing kind of energy. Like, in order for someone to have a passion means that they're going for what they want. They are experiencing something, dare I say, it's like greater than them, yet it's also them. And then the Hangman is very much the surrender card. Passion here in the sacral is like the fire energy, the creative energy. Whereas we have the Hangman, which is Mem, that water element. And it's tied, Mem is like water. It's tied to the element of water, this card as well. And so the flow of everything that needs to occur in our life in order to even connect to the passion. I see the snake at the bottom here. It's the wisdom. It's like the intuitive knowing of things inside. Water being the sacral as well, though. I guess I'd tie that in. So the fiery water that exists within us. What can happen or come for you in terms of inner knowing around what your passions are this week? I think it's going to be a deepening of your passion, okay? That could be really supportive for you in then taking the passion, taking what's being birthed internally. Pius is asking about like that menstrual cycle, the feminine kind of blood flow. It's like, what is that shedding happening so that we can release and then bring forth new life, new opportunity, and ultimately create, which we have here, the Magus, okay? Hey, Andrew, nice to see you. Yeah. We have the Magus. We have that concept of the magician creating, okay? All the elements surrounding him Again, the snake, so to speak, at the top of the head, this time not sleeping, but rather like whoosh, opened up. And then we have here the solar plexus card called dissipating. This one's always an interesting one. It's like a woman watching this television show, some guy just smoking, like a detective show, you know? Like, if did you ever have a parent or grandparent that would watch all those, like, what, Columbo, or what was that one with that one woman? Murder She Wrote, like things like that. Like that can be a passion too. You know, your passion doesn't have to be anything super exuberant, if that's the word I want to use. You know, it can be whatever you want it to be, as long as it brings you joy. I think we like live in such a world, I'm finding, where we feel like people feel like, oh, everything I do like is this major, like, life changing, world changing path. It's like, fuck that. Like, do you think the stingray worries about that? Like, the stingray has the alignment of the energy in its spinal column, even though I don't think they really have spines, through that like central column, and it flows through. Again, we have water here again, okay? Very, very much some magical letters here with Kof, Mem, and Bet, with these three major arcana cards, okay? Pisces also being very much flow. Mercury to me is that flow with like the magician and the magic that we can create. And all of these parts, I think really gratitude again is going to be something that helps us to reminisce and to recognize how we've lived our life, so that new boundaries, new ways of connecting with our passions can really be a support. Dissipating. I'm not sure what dissipating might mean for you. Maybe that's something you can just contemplate over the next week, if you want to share that in the chat around what that word to dissipate. Things kind of like, you know, maybe it's almost like with the hangman, we've now dissipated. We'd like release some of the attachment to what our passions need to look like, and then allowed the real magic to start to come through. Okay. We're going to go up. I think I'm missing some comments. Ooh, every time I set boundaries, I lose people. So that's a great thing to recognize, because that's what happens. Not all the time. The relationships, I tell people this, like the relationships in which we set boundaries, if they need to be gone, then they're going to be gone. The people who are really our true relationships, our true friends or connections, they will be able to have clean and open communication about what boundaries have been set. It's not just being like, okay, I'm setting a boundary, that's it. It's like setting a boundary and having clean communication. And not everyone, including ourselves sometimes, is ready or open to do that. And that's okay. Can you be okay with it? Those relationships may not be meant for you to last a long time, or at least they're meant to end at that point. Okay, so, okay. Take a divinely guided chance, this card says, the angels of abundance. All positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk. Ugh. And you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories. As you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar, but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. I feel like I read that really weird, which is bizarre. Let's read that again. All positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories. As you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar, but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. That makes more sense, doesn't it? So what divinely guided chances are you having to take this week to swim with the stingray? Okay, do you have to go into the depths of the water? Do you have to go into darkness and completely just surrender into the flow? Whatever that might be for you this week, can you be open to receiving that? Okay. I want to just point out too, and I'm just seeing with these two cards here, is this sort of, I mean, I could say all three cards. There's like this energy of like something in the foreground or the background that you're not really noticing, okay? The heart's above their head and they're busy like smiling off into the distance. And then we have the bird here while the woman's watching TV, and we have the paper here while this person's being read to. So both of these for sure have that energy of like attention being put somewhere else. And I kind of get that sense of like that's sort of what's happening here that we need to surrender into. It's like we can become hyper focused on what we think it needs to be, that we're creating in this moon, this full moon. Gemini is really meant to show us this is actually the truth, or this is actually where your energy is meant to be. And, you know, like with the moon card, we have Anubis here. And I wish I had my Anubis incense. We could burn that. So we'll just call Anubis that energy that was described to me, Anubis, when I was given that incense in the summer, that it's like the portal or the gateway beyond. And Anubis often that god of death and the transition between. So there's something there moving for us. Okay. How does that tie into this divinely guided chance? Yeah, there's certain things that seem to be showing up lately where it's like we have to take a risk. You know, today for myself even, I like had to reach out. I'm like doing some things that are happening over the next like month and a bit with our move. And it's like, okay, I don't really know what the future is going to look like. And it's something inside me feels like it's this certain next step needs to happen. And it's scary because that means like letting go and having to close certain doors and new doors that may or may not open, you know. And it's like, ultimately though, as a magician, you are the creator of your future, of your environment to a degree, and you will be protected as well. Okay, when things don't think like, oh, I made the wrong choice and then all hell's going to break loose. It's like there might be learnings that need to happen, like certain boundaries that need to be set and created, or conversations that need to take place, and yet it's all part of the blueprint. Okay, and so yeah, if you like personal readings, we'll get to that here in a moment. Just want to point out the blueprint, the lines of the astral world that is present, ever pervasive through our life experience. Whew. So calling in each of your magicians, calling in each of your experiences. And I appreciate all of you for being here and being conversational and taking part in this, you know, really engaging. Thank you. It's exciting, you know. Maybe this is the evening time. My partner's like, I told you to do evening time YouTubes, and I'm like, I just feel like chilling, relaxing. I'm hoping to do my own little ritual tonight too, so it's like do this and then get into my plant medicine space and call upon that moon and call into that inner magician, that part of me that wants to like create and really tap into that back of the head, the moon, the subconscious mind. Okay, so I'm gonna scroll on up, and hopefully I didn't miss anyone about who wants cards. If you'd like cards, I'd kind of go by the order of who wrote that they want cards, by the way. So just saying that. And hopefully we'll get through everyone. Of course, with those community members that are present during readings, they get priority readings. So you can join the membership community by hitting the join button at the bottom. If that's something, I think it's like $4.99 to join. You get extended stuff too. I think it's a pretty sweet deal. I think. Maybe I'm biased. Okay, I'm scrolling. Please pull cards for me today, Pius. For this week concerning me and my involvement with my work direction. Okay, Pius, we'll do you. Then I see Dora King. Pius, I don't know how to tread that territory. That's okay. Then Tahira, okay. And then, ooh, Tahira, a new relationship with a Gemini. That's fun. That creation of the future feels like something I'm getting back in touch with. Yeah. I just got this book. Okay, Pius, we'll pull cards for you first. But I just got this book here. Magical Use of Thought Forms, it's called. And it was interesting. I just kind of was going through the first pages and reading a little bit about what it said around the use of desire and that. So I'm gonna have to read it a bit more in detail, just basically how we can really establish more desire, even if you're not sure. And one thing that the authors of the book were saying, Pius wants questions about involvement with work. Part of what the book was saying is to strengthen desires by like thinking about it, not just visualizing it initially, but thinking, so you can exponentially grow the desire of what it is that you would like to see manifest, or a feeling or whatever it might be. And to also use a mirror, a magical mirror in particular. So if you have one of those, if not, you can get like a black obsidian scrying stone. I made a video that you can watch on how to make your own scrying mirror, or a black mirror. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm just speaking that. Ooh, you got a lot of fire here today, Pius. Work direction. Ooh, so it's interesting because you've kind of been asking Pius a lot about the sacral chakra. So much fire. Mercury in Sagittarius, I believe, I'm just showing you the last card that came up here. The Eight of Wands. Okay, what is that? Swiftness. The Eight of Wands. Oh my God. Yeah, this is Mercury, correct? Oh my God. Sometimes my symbolisms are off. Pretty sure. Sagittarius, which is the season we're in right now, and Mercury, which is the magician we just talked about. And look at how magical this card is. It's very much an astral world theme. Oh, and it's fascinating that there's this pyramid, because that's legit what the book was just talking about. I mean, I'm gonna have to read this book and like share this stuff with you guys, like, because basically what the book was talking about was this whole idea, so Pius, this whole idea of the tree of life and these top three spheres as being the top part of what's necessary for things to be in creation. Okay, I'm seeing that with this kind of weird pyramid that's reflected, okay, or triangle that's in its like depth and perception, and then also reflected down, because then how does this all come into being? It's the things you're working on, the things that are being percolated in your womb space that you're shedding and making space for. It needs then you to be, I think the word they use in the book is like the organizer. Oh, and there's another word, like basically you're the one that brings it into being. Okay, and it's reflected down into this bottom space, technically, is how I would describe that, okay, without having read the actual book. So what is that looking like for you? Recognizing your magicianship, your ability to create. We also have here now these two cards, which are what? The Prince of Wands and the Knight of Wands, okay? It was like this. The Knight of Wands was first, and the Prince of Wands came after. So there's just something here about what I'm getting the sense of from seeing these cards is a bit about the chaos that seems to be present, and maybe in the past you felt a bit more organizational, okay? Because this card just seems so much more in flow, and I think the Knight in this deck, if I'm not mistaken, is like kind of like the King. It's like the more elevated aspect, the developed aspect of the card, whereas the Prince is like not so much. I could be wrong about my order of that. That's just how I'm seeing it, though. The Prince here seems much more chaotic, and this being in the center of these two other cards pulled makes me just think that this is kind of like the present moment at which you're at, and maybe perhaps it's you getting clear on what your desires are. That kind of makes sense in my head now, guys. And it's funny because that's how I literally just got this book delivered. My partner left, and like within like a second or whatever of him leaving, the Amazon people arrived and like left it at my door, and I was like, oh, cool, So, and then I was reading it, and I'm like, why am I reading this right now? Like, and it's like, oh, maybe there's some message here. There's something about that. Okay, Pius. Creation. So what is it, guys, that you want to create? You need to get inside your womb. I would encourage you to meditate within that space and trust that spirit is going to use you to unlock whatever that is. And then from there, you're going to be able to organizationally and very swiftly figure out the next steps Okay, I think that's all I have to say. There's like so much fire. The Sagittarian energy we've entered into now with this season, I think is really going to be supportive for you. Let the flow of whatever's going on, making sure you're medically okay, obviously. You know, if you're feeling really tired and you're like bleeding a lot, like maybe it's worth going to the doctor or doing what you need to, you know, or taking care of yourself with proper like herbs or teas or whatever it might be. There's just something there about that triangle. So even if you can meditate with the triangle or a pyramid, I think it's a truncated, is that what I was just writing about? The truncated pyramid? So I'm just going to our workbook for tomorrow's path working. The truncated pyramid. There's something about that I was literally looking up today because I don't really understand what that is. And yet it's like the pyramid and then the manifestation in the physical. So this is all happening. Okay. Anyways, that's all I have to say for you, as I feel. I am a creative. I design. Yeah, you're moving. You're creating something. Hi, Tammy. Oh, other Tammy. Hello. Nice to see you. Oh. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, Pius. Yeah, all the best with that. I'm excited to see what happens. You have the power within you. Everyone does. We all have the power within us. You know, and especially if you're someone that finds a creative aspect, how can you continue to tap into that? Okay, Dora King, we'll pull cards for you. Dora King. Ooh, we have dissipating again, and we have the forgiveness card. I think you've gotten this card before. Thanks, Tammy. Yeah. My periwinkle hair. That's the color. It's just funny. Dissipating, which already showed up for the collective energy here, Dora King, and yet it's shown up for you too. Fascinating too. There's like this inner child with an animal, like the rhinoceros, curling up and just being supportive. There's also these like other little beings. If you look really closely, these other little beings in the grass. You can see their faces. Very elemental beings. Okay, very magical card actually. Dora King. I'm feeling like what I'm feeling right now, Dora King, is almost like the sense of like a block. Okay, so whatever that is, I'm just inviting you to breathe and to just recognize wherever it is that you're feeling blocked or like you can't see right now, and not wanting to change it, not needing it to be any different, just allowing it to be exactly as it is right now. I'm kind of getting the sense of like, so maybe something has happened and, you know, even though the energy of it is going to like shift, like dissipate, it's going to like move. It's just, you have to like, just pause within that. You know, when something happens and then we like, oh my God, I like should have done this or should have done this, or I need to do this to like make it better. It's like, can you just be with whatever has happened? And you're going to find a lot more ease with that. And there's going to be a lot more clarity with that too, okay? Pius, that's hilarious that you're saying that, because legit, that's what we're working on right now, okay? Meditations. It just takes a lot of effort and time. So hopefully we'll have the Isis meditation out this Thursday. That's the plan. My partner went back home to work on the music. It's been recorded by yours truly. And if you want more, well, we don't necessarily have a ton of guided meditations, but if you have Insight Timer, you can listen to some of the other soundtracks and things that we have on there. That's a place, and you can listen to that for free. You don't have to pay, though you can pay for Insight Timer premium, I guess. Okay, Dora King, you have the 8 of Dis, Prudence. Yeah, I really feel like something's happened here that, like, you know, whether it's around money or it's just like your physical environment, your material world, Dora King, it's like there's like something just like covering or holding it, you know, and it's it's not like it's a bad thing. You know, this is just part of the learning. I think, though, there's really a need for you to just release. What's this last card? This card is calling the Two of Discs, the change card. Looking at how this is that beautiful representation of the Ouroboros, that snake eating its own tail. And not only is it eating its own tail and allowing the birth, death, rebirth process, it's also representing both the light and the dark, the polarity. Okay, intertwining both. So whatever maybe has happened, Dora King, you know, that's maybe led to you wanting to protect the physical world around you or yourself or how things have been. It's kind of like this, like, I want to say controlling it, just like keep it all up, like keep it together, you know. It's like, can you let the flow occur and be with whatever that is? If you do work with elemental beings, fairies, or whatever other things that are elemental, little nature spirits, like whatever, I would encourage you to call forward them to support you too, okay? And let's just pull on one of these animal cards for you, because there's quite a few animals in these cards. Fedora King with animal wants to support spirit animal. And you know, the cards probably wouldn't fall on the floor so much if I actually shuffled on top of the table. Oh God. Okay, we're going to get one card for you. Oh, the butterfly. There's this annoying sound in my apartment lately. I'm not sure what it is. You probably can't hear it. It just is like this buzzing sound. Sounds like a door opening and being held open too long. And I'm not really sure where it's from. Anyways, it's kind of pissing me off right now. For whatever reason. There's some... Okay, well, but if you're feeling angry about what I've told you, that's okay. You're allowed to be. The butterfly, this is all part of the transformation. Again, like to me, this really ties into this card, like that birth, death, rebirth process. So can you be light like the butterfly and see the opportunities, and even in the rest, and just pause to, you know, just be with whatever is, these walls or these like kind of experiences of not knowing, a lack of clarity, whatever, then perhaps, you know, you can just trust the process. And you're growing wings, like rebirthing. It's adding to who you are, who you've always been. And this is going to also be very attractive for the other people that come into your life, you know? Because again, someone had asked about the loss of things, you know. Oh, cool, Pius. Yeah, nice to have you join. Oh, Zealator. And yeah, there's something about that. I feel that, like, that's cool. I've never seen it like do that live on the screens. That's really neat. There's something about that. I feel that Dora King can really be supportive for you. Now, are you able to go around butterflies at all? Like, is there like a butterfly park or like a museum or gallery or some sort? That might be really supportive for you right now. So just sending you a lot of love and support with that, whatever you might be going through. Okay, Dora King. Hope that's helpful. Tahira, I think you're next. Get these cards ready. And I feel like you might have asked a question too. Okay. I really wish that the screen... Oh, I can do a pop-out chat. Oh, it's like a whole other level here, folks. So yeah, Pius, thanks. I see you joined in. And yeah, when you join and become like whatever the member, I think there's all these cool little emojis you could use and stuff. Let me set stuff up. So I think that's kind of cool. Shows you how much I know about YouTube. I mean, we're like really, we're reaching more folks. It's been great. It's also a huge learning. So wherever you are, folks, on your journey, and maybe to hear this is a message for you, it's like there's going to be huge learnings, and we're going to have to push into completely new comfort zones. You asked for clarity on a new relationship with a Gemini. I set boundaries with. Okay. Ooh, okay. So I will touch on that, and I want to just also say about the importance of new things, that we're going to touch on new areas of growth and experiences. I went to the library with my daughter she wanted to do some like heat press stuff on a shirt. And in order to do that, we had to do like a training to use the Cricut, one of these like vinyl cutting machines, okay? So we're there. It's like we're there for a very long time. I'm like, the lady's teaching us this stuff. My kid's picking it up and they're having a great time. And I was just like, what? Like my brain can't comprehend negative space. I'm like, wait, so if I want to create this image, I have to do this and this and this. And it wasn't until the end when we finally like kind of, I'm like, okay, it started to come together. And as I left there, like the last like 48 hours, or I guess it's been more than that now, I've been like seeing how it looks and how I can perceive this new practice, if I can call it that, this new tool. And yeah, Tammy, thank you. Happy full moon. If you like a card, feel free to let me know. I can pull one and you can come back later at, yeah, blessings to you. And so this idea of being out and doing things that are uncomfortable, that may make no sense, this is going to touch on so many areas of our life. And to hear for your question, maybe this is part of this relationship, okay, is what I'm getting at. I am getting to a point with what I'm sharing. It's not like just me talking random shit. Well, sometimes maybe it is. Seems like it. Okay, let's get some cards about this new relationship. So anyways, what I'm saying, well, that kind of maybe responds to what you're saying, is like, we sometimes are going to have to do things differently, and it's going to be uncomfortable, and we're going to feel lost, and so many times, even during that practice, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this again. I part of me wanted to just be like, I give up. Let's just go home. Like, I don't want to do this. And that's okay. Because perhaps in the past you've had disappointment in those relationships, Tahira, and we have the 5 of Cups here. I don't think that's the card you got last time. I think the card you got last time was a cup card. Was it not like the 4 of Cups or the 6 of Cups or something? I could be wrong. It might not have been you. Okay, here, let's get a couple other of these cards. Ooh. So it's like, and it's interesting. I don't know what really I think it's like a flower in the middle of these cards. Oh, this one. Okay. With the sun. That's a good sign. I think. Okay, first this one. So in the center, we have these kind of like flower petals, and like they're kind of losing their petals, the flowers. They're kind of wilting, and it's just really like, they're covered from the sun, even though this is a Mars and Scorpio. So if this person does that, this guy or whoever, Gemini, have any Scorpio in their chart, maybe that's something to just be aware of. As a Scorpio, I could say that it could be a little intense, and like boundaries will be needed. Scorpio people can be very possessive and jealous and and I speak that from experience. And it's often from a place of love, okay? I think so. Yeah, Pius, if we have time, we'll for sure pull some other cards for you. I don't see why not. And then we have the Sun card here. So like, to me, I'm just seeing wherever this disappointment maybe has come from, even if it's from just an experience of whatever it was that showed up recently for you to hear, it's like this idea of the sun, this jovial, I want to say, like experience of union can still be a part of it. And even around this, we have the zodiac sign. So there's definitely something, if you can like get this person's birth chart read, explore some of that stuff, I would encourage you to do that. I mean, I can always like try and look at a birth chart. Like I'm supposed to probably be saying, yeah, I just am like still learning about the astrology. Otherwise, I was going to point you out to Music in the Stars. Kurt has a YouTube channel and he does birth chart readings, and he's really awesome. I would just say go to him. I think he does like, one-on-one birth chart, or like, you could give get your partner's birth chart and yours and then look at them combinedly. You could probably do something like that if you don't know how to do that yourself. Okay. We have the Ace of Discs as well. That's really, yeah, there's something's shifting from wherever you've come from with your disappointment. So I wanted to say, if it's these boundaries that you've been setting, just knowing that it's going to be something, it's part of like the process. Okay. Yeah. Cause like so look at this quest card, the throat chakra. So it really very much about the setting of boundaries, you know, speaking your truth. It's like we have this, oh, and maybe this is tied into, like, you know, so you know, like when you have a kid, like, you know, your kid, you have to set certain boundaries, so they get certain choices, and it seems sometimes like we can kind of be the gatekeeper for a lot of experience. I'm kind of getting the sense of like this inner child energy, even for the partner, that you are like mirroring something from their childhood. Like, and this is oftentimes what happens with all the different relationships, is that, you know, like I'm mirroring my partner's parents or mother, and like he's mirroring my father and my views about the masculine, and it's just this constant like give and take. And so it's practicing through that. I like how it says quest, because it really is like, you know, you don't have to choose any of it. Okay, you could just be like, I'm done with this, and not even go with this. But you are going to be supported, and there's going to be so much brilliant like joy, again, that jovial energy with the sun, this Ace of Discs, like really something solidifying within the physical reality for you that will also like ripple out into the other areas of your life. And I think that in the end, you'll be like happy about that. So whatever has shown up in your past, because I'm not sure if I'm making any sense at all right now. So God, I sometimes just feel like I'm all over the place. Anyway, I feel like, yeah, there's some opportunity. What else is there here? We have the Cups, the Sun, which is Resh. We have the Ace of Discs, what is this? This is, I don't even think there is anything attached to it. Something about the angels, all four directions of the angels. Anyways, then we have exercise to increase your energy and manifestation abilities. So if, you know, you're feeling kind of stagnant in any way to hear it, maybe it's time to move your body, okay? I'm just going to scroll down because I've kind of been missing a lot of the comments. I apologize for that. Oh yes, Music in the Stars. I think that's his YouTube channel, Kurt. It's got some really great content. Disappointment from past relationships. I'm looking at this week at this last week. Okay. Inner child healing last week. She wanted me to speak up and speak my truth. Yes, makes all sense. Okay. Don't curse us. Who, me? Damn it. Maybe I don't. Anyways, okay. Let me read what this card says to hear it. The key to manifesting quickly is to have very high energy levels, and the easiest way to increase them is through physical activity or exercise. Choose a fun and meaningful activity so that you'll look forward to exercising and it becomes its own reward. And I'm kind of just being drawn again to this card with this woman and the two choices behind her. You know, like both are equally like viable. One with luscious green, one with kind of like, whew, that was weird. I just threw it at myself. One with kind of like a nighttime look, and there's like some water there, almost a less green, yet it seems very brilliant and beautiful with like the twilight kind of imagery. So it's like this choice, you know, how can you increase your energy levels and be supported? And there's something, I feel like there's something, is it like the sun? And is it something you can do with your son, even around like tying into moving body and getting that kind of connection with that inner child? Because when we connect even with our own kids and tap into these certain energies, there can be a lot of support with us internally in our own inner child healing, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense what I just said. Like it's helping connect with the kid, and it's also helping us connect with our inner kid. Okay, that's what I'm wanting to get at. And that can help tap into more with the manifesting of whatever this gold in this is. This is supported by spirit for sure. It's the angel's wings around the magical circle. When you do the lesser banishing of the ritual, we literally pull in the angels in all four directions. So there's something about that, really, I think that can be supportive. Okay, I'm going to just read it. We did a workout this morning. He loves yoga. My inner child told me she loves when I play with my... Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Oh, see, so I'm not just like making up shit. Cool. Thank you for that. See, this is why I like hearing from y'all, because it like also validates for me that, you know, like, and it's not like it's not, for me, it's not like, oh, look, I'm right and I'm like connected. It's like, look, like this is a confirmation for you that you are doing and on the path exactly the way it needs to be. Okay. So there. Yeah. Okay, Terry, I hope that makes sense. And I think Tammy Morrison is next. And then Pius. I feel like you said something. So if you can get... Oh, I read that. Thank you. Someday I will meet you. yeah, I'm sure we will. But I'm going to come out that way too, probably. Maybe you'll be here. Anyways, Terry, I hope that makes sense. You know what kind of... Yeah, like this relationship with partner is the relationship with your sun, is the relationship with your inner child. Gemini there on the sun card, right in the middle. These twins, okay? And they're angels too. There's something with the angels. Something really much angels are like supporting you to hear as like what I want to say. So calling those angels for you to show to you tonight. And I just want to speak before we go into Tammy Morrison's reading, like, if you've ever connected with angels, if you've ever connected with spirit guides or beings, and it was like in your past, it was like so overwhelming, I just want to say that I get that. I understand why it would be overwhelming. I understand why it would be scary, and it doesn't have to be scary anymore. We've worked through setting boundaries with relationships. We are not the same humans as we were a year ago or 5 years ago or whatever. So we don't have anything to fear. So when those angels show up, because I've had experiences, I think it was Archangel Metatron once, I was like, oh, like I can't even explain what happened. And I like returned to my room from a winding staircase being like literally like thrown back down into my bed. And the angel being like right at the foot of the bed. Like I can't even explain the like, you know, and it was just like a relief and beautiful and scary, like the majesty of everything. And so whatever that is, I'm just speaking that because it obviously needs to be spoken. Oh, Tahira, cool. Oh, look at these Zealotors. I don't even know what I called you all. Like, that's sweet. Thanks for the support. Yeah, so I guess I'll just say again, like, to those of you, I know many of you come here regularly, so when you join like the membership, you do get like priority of readings, and there's like extended content in the actual channels for you to tap into for like full moon readings. So those of you who just joined today, you can go and see the full moon card pull as well as the Reiki energy healing that happened, and there'll be other things that are coming through in the next little bit. So yeah, so I appreciate that support. I want to see angels. Yeah, it's like, why can't we have more of these miracles? So much fun. Okay, Tammy. Oh, Tammy, I'm looking forward to our chat. Thanks. It's happening. You know, I used to beat myself up when I like made plans to do something and then life like just completely shifted what I wanted to see. And it's funny talking about kids. This happens a lot with kids. Like, so I was supposed to do like a podcast with Tammy, and then my kid ended up being home, and it's like, oh, the stress of, you know, how do I manage? And I used to really, you know, and I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like, God, I hate not having the control of the situation, and yet also recognizing, ooh, there we go. Also recognizing there's a reason for everything. And I'm curious, Tammy, when we meet, like what things I'm going to have gone through over the next like few weeks that needed to happen so that I could share whatever it is that comes up in our conversation. Oh, that's weird that that's out. Anyways, Tammy Morrison, we got the Lovers. Ooh, got some nice cards here for you. And that was weird. The Queen of Swords was like, if you saw that, it was like legit, like sticking out of the deck. So the message that's coming through, Tammy, I just want to speak, is like, if there has been a relationship, I'm just going to say what I'm saying, then I'll read the comments here. If there has been a relationship, and maybe the way things played out with that relationship, especially if this is like a twin flame relationship, please stop sacrificing or criticizing or killing God, so to speak, okay? Like that's kind of like what I want to say, because we had the Lovers card here, okay? And the thing that's standing out to me is this bearded man, like the being behind the scenes that perfectly orchestrates everything, the puppets of time. And then here we have the Queen of Swords, who's like cut off his head. You can see her carrying his head. Who's like, you motherfucker. You know, and that's okay. It's not like a judgment at all of like, you know, we've all been there, you know, thinking of like that story of Job in the Bible, and he's being tested, and like he's like, I guess the epitome of what we would like is to not criticize God, to just allow whatever's happening. And yet like that's not the natural way. And also I want to speak to the fact that it's a woman, bare-breasted, very much a woman tapped into her feminine power, and like recognizing this sense of like I'm in my strength, and I, you know, it's not Job who was a masculine. It's like the feminine is often quieted down for wanting to be hard or like intense when something harmful happens to her. It's like you're allowed to be, I guess is what I'm saying. And yet, what is it serving you anymore to yeah, I want to say sacrifice or like damage your relationship with God, with your divine connection, because of whatever this relationship was. Yeah, I could talk a lot about twin flame relationships, Tammy. I won't right now, you know, if this is something you're familiar with or not. It's funny though, it wouldn't surprise me if there's some connection, because like seems like a lot of folks come to me around that stuff. Just it's my medicine too. And yet, yeah, there's something here that you can really open up to the flow of life again. And we have the Four of Cups, which is the luxury card. Okay, I think this is the moon in Cancer. So interesting, because it's like a lot of moon energy, a lot of moon, a lot of flow, a lot of intuition, a lot of majesty, and like just brilliance around the beauty that you are, even the beauty of the story of that relationship. So hopefully if this at all resonates for you, I don't know. Because, you know, any twin flame relationship, the main point of it is the connection to the self. It's the connection to the divine, okay? It's that like, yeah, okay. There's like something there that it helps us to heal it, and we really heal when we can let it go, and that's this release card here, okay? So whatever the past has been, whatever sadness or grieving has occurred from a relationship, and I put that like underneath that Queen of Swords card, it's like just releasing it. Like there's something really, again, I'm seeing here this rebirthing through the sunlight coming through, and it's kind of the same as the cups. You see how like the rays are kind of coming through from above and through something and feeding into the next. I think maybe a meditation for you, Tammy, would be to literally like imagine you kind of as a cup, or you as like this being, and then the sun or whatever light shining from spirit, and just like moving through you in these rays, or calling upon the rays. Is it 7 rays or however many rays there are? And allowing them to just bathe you, okay? I'm pulling an animal card for you, Tammy. Well, that was interesting. It's just like literally like the cards really are pulling out for you. We have the hyena. So this trickster energy, there's something very strongly about polarity within this. Even the moon, how it's like a half moon, okay? And look at this hyena. It's just like mischievous. Like some people might see this hyena as like, I'm gonna rip your face off, and other people would be like, hee hee. Like it's like just like it wants to tell a joke in like a very like just like innocent sort of way. Okay. So what does hyena mean for you, Tammy? Like how can you tap into that energy and really connect a bit more to it, okay? And this moon is going to be supportive, especially as the moon starts to go, most likely by the next week, by the time it gets to that half wax on waning moon. There'll be some insights around that for you, Tammy. Okay, so again, I'm tying the hyena, that trickster energy, to like this kind of energy of the feminine and her power. You know, it has been like damned and said it was wrong for so long, and yet it's just who you are, it's who you be. So it's okay, like embrace it all. Release the shame and the guilt and the judgments of the past, and also about that feminine power, that trickster power, okay? Ooh, which is I'm excited tonight. I did purchase some lovely edibles because I was like, you know what? Sometimes I like to connect to the cannabis plant during these moon times. It has something, and I bought this one. It's called like Satan's chocolate caramel, something. And I specifically was like, oh, like for me to take something that says the word Satan has like this internal feeling of like, like that. Like what if like it's really bad and wrong, you know? And also what if though there's something amazing that comes through with that because of facing that shadow, okay? So anyways, I'm just speaking that. How can we tap into that? Okay, Tammy, so I hope that makes sense. Thank you for being here. And thank you all for joining in. We're gonna, I think there was one more question. Maybe it was Pius. And then, where is it? I need guidance for financial abundance. My personal life is very confusing. I do not know if there is someone for me. Well, in Pius, I think we had scheduled for a private session, so maybe that will be something that shows up then. I will pull a card for you though from the Angels of Abundance, because I don't think I pulled one of those for you. And let's see what it says. And then we'll do kind of a closing because it's over the hour here. And I will reach out to you about the other session too. Pius. Yeah. Ooh. I'm so, I laugh because I think what you've been saying the whole time is like, I feel blocked, like there's something like stuck, and then the cards obstacles and blocks are lifted. Okay? There's Archangel. I mean, it's up to you. This might be Archangel Michael. The blue to me is like, you know, whatever. Oh, I guess usually, anyways, or it's Archangel Raphael is kind of how I would associate it, which is a healing angel. And it says, all your good personal work and your positive energy shift have overcome previous obstacles, and blocks are lifted away. You will now experience progress and forward movement with your projects. Stay centered in gratitude, which was what came up initially, to ensure that your flow of abundance continues. Okay, well, there you go, Pius. I think that pretty much is self-explanatory. That's funny. Maybe what I'll do is I'll leave this card out and I'll send you an image, picture of the actual like write up. Okay. Yeah. So, okay, folks. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. We're going to close off here in a moment with a kind of guided process, probably to connect to the angels. That might be fun. And, yeah, thanks to those of you who've joined the membership, those of you continually showing up and supporting. You know, it means a lot to me because I've like rededicated myself to this work, and hopefully really just sharing more. And again, like I saw there's some recommendations for meditations, things like that. So never feel like your opinion doesn't matter. It does matter. Okay, so feel free to share if there's anything in particular you would like to see. Where you've got a lot of cool things that are going to be coming out in the next like couple months, different options for you to develop more of your dreaming and kind of connect to the plants in different ways. So that's something that I'm excited to be sharing once I've like moved and settled into the new place. And just, yeah, more content and more connection on this platform. Invitation to Saturday mornings. We have the Ouroboros 713 gathering. It's on Zoom. You can head over to my website, deepmindsquared.com. The link should be in the description. You can register. It's by donation. We meet on Zoom, and it's a chance for us to connect to some more magical things and actually have more like community engagement, because it's not just me talking on like a screen. Though it kind of still is, I guess. So if that's something that interests you, for the most part, every Saturday we'll be meeting this Saturday coming up. And yeah, if you found this helpful, if you would like to donate, give back in any way, pay it forward, you can also check out the donation link. It's a PayPal link down below. I'm always open to receiving that. And thank you so much for, yeah, just taking part in this adventure. And I'm like excited to see what comes in the near future. So thank you. And as we close here tonight, thank you. Yeah, Andrew, it's always nice to have you tune in here. Ooh, even as you study, bud. Ooh, I'm curious what you're studying too, if you feel like sharing. And so as that energy is flowing to you and we begin to open up those doorways to the angels, you can just begin to become aware of your breath. Allowing your body to relax yet again, and remembering that anything that you receive energy-wise, it's exactly what's needed for you, no less or no more, okay? So there's nothing that's going to be too much for you. You have the ability to open and close like the faucet of energy flowing, and Spirit knows what you're capable of receiving. And so we're going to call to those angels and the all four directions around us, calling to Archangel Raphael in the east, where the sun rises. We imagine you standing there in your green, yellow, connecting to that energy of the sword, to air and mind. Archangel Raphael, come and be here now. Be with folks, guide them with their healing. And we call to the energies of the west. We call to that energy of the Archangel Gabriel with the cups, the chalice, that of water. That place also of the womb, the flow and emotions. That Archangel in blue, standing powerfully in that intuition. Archangel Gabriel, we ask that you come and be here now. And we call to the energies of the south, and we call to Archangel Michael to come and be present, that Archangel in red, holding the wand or the staff of power. That place of action, being able to take swift action and movement forward. Thank you for trust and innocence. Archangel Michael, come and be here now. And we call to the Archangel of the North, Archangel Uriel, coming present in green and bracette, that olive, brown, green color, however that might show up for you. This Archangel of manifestation in the physical reality, and he holds a disc or a coin and also a husk of corn. This is not just about material wealth, it's about the abundance and the nurturance and all of the resources that are necessary for our living. And so there he is, standing in his power in the north. Thank you for showing us where the resources come from, that we are capable of drawing forth mind in air, the feelings of emotions in water, and the actions of fire to create something in the physical reality. And we ask the as above and the so below to come through all four of these directions. And so imagining around you this circle, your magical circle, you as the magician. And anything that might be showing up that might be hindering or creating doubt in your mind, just recognizing it and being like, that's okay. I see it. I see the fear. I see the anxiety, and that's all right. I'm just going to trust that everything is going to work out the way it needs to work out. Surrendering, the magician, the hangman. And with this full moon, the energy of Chof shining down, illuminating the way as we go through this week, both individually and as a collective. Thank you for opening the doors, angels, to envisioning and seeing you in the most magical ways, whether it's in the miracles that happen day by day, in the dream time, in our words, in our visions, in our meditations, in our music, our creations, whatever it is. Let us witness, observe, and really believe what it is that we are seeing within these miracles. Breathing that into your heart. And as you let go, eyes slowly open, returning to the space. And so I thank you all for being here. May this full moon support you. Again, if you haven't already seen the Reiki full moon video for this full moon Gemini, you can check that out on the channel. Blessings to you as you enter, and have fun this week. And I will see you next week, I guess. Probably not at this time, maybe earlier. Just, yeah, life. And yeah, excited. So thank you all. And I feel that as well, or maybe it's something they were hiding from us. Interesting. Okay, thanks, folks. You take care. Have a good night.